You're all welcome to Waitom Academy Scratch Part 2. In the last video, we talked about all the basic blocks in Scratch. If you haven't watched the Part 1, go and watch it. The link will be in the description box down below. So let's start the video. Let's start. So we'll just we'll open Scratch. Scratch Magic Program Share. It will take you to this page. Now you're just gonna click on create and it'll open the loading page and loading screen. Just wait. This is the loading screen. It's loading all the blocks, loading the sprites, the characters, everything. So the page should look like this. Yeah. So let's begin. So in the last video I talked about different blocks like the green flag, this clicked, and next costume and stuff, but I didn't quite explain some of the blocks. I said I'll get to like the backdrop. So today we'll be looking at more backdrops. We're looking into more advanced scripting. So let's start. So let's talk about, and I also did a movie script. Last time I talked about the X and Y velocity. I made the sprite move. So let's try programming something else today. Maybe we'll program a simple game after the end of this video. Now, as I said, Scratch is also full of tutorials, and it also has many purposes, not only for games but for stories and for games and for business purpose. Yes, business purpose. So let's start. So this is the Scratch card. X coordinate 0, Y coordinate 0. So when the green flag is clicked, I'll just start off with this so that anytime I'm doing a script, it'll always go back to this position. And let's do with more advanced blocks like the forever loop. I did the forever loop in the last video, but we'll look into more about the forever loops. So we'll do point towards mouse pointer. Now what this point towards mouse pointer does is that it will allow the sprite to always face the mouse pointer like this. It always point the Scratch pointing would point to the mouse pointer. Now in Scratch, the 90-degree angle is this way. In Scratch, the 90-degree angle is this way. So any sprite that you create will always point towards this way, though it's facing to the mouse pointer. For an example, I'll create a new sprite and I'll just get I'll just get rid of this and I will make it a small circle. No, make it more understandable. I'd use a square. And the square will have an X. So what this will do, don't mind that, it will locate the pointing direction, because you can see I'll make a small green box right here, like a green box, so that you can always know where it's always pointing to. And if we start, you can see that the green box is always facing the mouse pointer, even though the whole script is, but it's always pointing towards the green box. That is because this way is the actual 90-degree angle. So when the green flag is clicked, I always set it to always point to 90 degree, but since it's always pointing to the mouse pointer, in a flash of a second when the green flag is clicked, it will quickly point to 90 degree but directly go to the mouse pointer. So we'll get rid of the sprite, the script, and we'll fix the Scratch gap. There you go. So let's try glide around. So glide around just means moving that way, just moving to a random position. Well, you can set where you actually want it to glide to. You can see glide to a specific coordinate. Like let's say I want this sprite to glide to let's start with the mouse pointer. I'll set in a forever loop so it doesn't happen once. So glide to mouse pointer in 1 second. See anywhere the mouse pointer to quickly glide there in 1 second. So if I just make it here, it'll glide slower because it has to take 1 second. So it'll just glide towards the mouse pointer at all times and at all costs. But if we set it to a faster speed like 0.1, it'll look like as if it's following the mouse pointer, but it's not actually following it, it's just gliding towards it very quickly. So let's set our scratch cat to be fixed, and let's try a different block. By the way, I will demonstrate this pointy degree. You see the pointy degree is 90 degrees like this. As I said, the arrow is always pointing this way. I'll keep the arrow on so that you can always understand, and it's same as the arrow here. You can see the arrow here is also pointing towards here, and if we slightly rotate that and click on it, the sprite cat will point towards there. And if we click on it again, it'll always point towards where this arrow is pointing. So if we point like this, it'll rotate the entire way, so it's just negative 90 degree. And if you want to make it like that, like negative 15, it'll rotate. And if you wanted to make it just 0 degree, it'll face directly up. And we'll set it back to 90 degree, and we'll fix the scratch cat. So let's try a different scripting, like a variable. Now last video I didn't talk about variables, but the variables, and I didn't talk about my block, and I didn't talk about variable. I'll get to those in part 3, but not for this part. So first let's select a backdrop. I already did in the last video how to do a backdrop, so I'll select a simple one like the city, a nice city. And by the way, if you by the way, stage selected no motion blocks. If you want to always adjust the backdrop, like switching backdrops in a specific time, you just click on this long look like never ending, and you can always switch the backdrop like this. I can just paint the entire backdrop green, and I can make it like a green screen and stuff. And now the scratch cat is like in a green screen, and I can also set the backdrop to many colors like red. Oh, the backdrop I just inserted loaded in. I can set the backdrop like red, or I can set the backdrop to blue or purple, whatever color I like. I'll leave the backdrop a not so eyesore color, like maybe like this. I'll leave the backdrop like this so that it will be very well seeable. So let's do something cool. I'll put the scratch cat right here. Actually, I'll just hide the sprite. Oh, and in the last video I didn't do hide and show sprite, but there's always a custom made tutorial about how to hide and show a sprite. Here's the tutorial. You can watch the video, or you can just use the image tutorial. So when the green flag is click, let's do a small hide and show. When the green flag is click, I'll want the sprite to hide. I'll grab a show block and then wait 1 second and it'll show. So when the green flag is clicked, 1 second pass by, it'll show. When the green flag is clicked, 1 second pass by, it'll show. And let's say I wanted to make it 10 seconds. The timer is counting, and 9, 8, it's counting, and it'll show. There it is. Right there, it'll show. So that's what the wave block actually does. It just keeps you something. That's what the hide and show is. Actually a very powerful and useful block. Without these blocks, Scratch couldn't actually make stories, and Scratch would be an actual total mess. So we'll get out of the wave block. Now let's do sound. There's a sound, and I didn't do it in the last video because I was in live meet, but now I am all alone. We can do some sound. Let's use the pop sound. When the green flag is clicked, play pop sound until done. So anytime the green flag is clicked, this one says until done. and I can always make it repeat 10 times, and I can always make it repeat 100 times, even 1,000 if I want to. You may not be able to hear it, but it's playing. It's very annoying. Oh, it's already done. That was fast. And that's what the sound. And if you want it to always be slower, you can always use a rate block, so not like this. It'll wait 1 second, and then you'll play the pop sound, and it'll repeat 10 times. Now let's talk about some blocks. Let's talk about the repeat, forever, if, and if else. Now these blocks are very important because they are very well used, very well known, and more. The forever block makes something do something forever, 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 and forever, and forever until the game is stopped. For an example, when green flag is clicked, forever motion go to mouse pointer. Or let's do go to random position. You always need it when green flag is clicked to start the scripting, and it'll start teleporting to random position. So you can always slow the process down with a wait block. It's random. So I need to go to random position. If I get rid of the wait block, you can see it start teleporting everywhere. So forever will make sure something is repeated until you stop the game. And that's what a forever block does. So let's do a if then block. And if then block will do something. So like we'll do something unless something is occurring, like forever. Excuse me. If sending mouse pointer, then point towards mouse pointer. No. Move 10 steps. Else it'll keep moving. Change Y by 10. So what this means is that literally means is that this scripting will allow this else will make the scripting will just repeat. It will just repeat until what's up here is activated. For example, I'll replace this with X. So if it's sensing the mouse pointer, then this scripting will stop and this one will activate. And if this one is not activated, this will stop. This will not. This one. If this one's not activated, this will be activated. If this is not activated, this is activated. So it's like they take turn by turn. So I'll put negative change Y by -10. And I'll and so when the green flag is clicked, if it's sensing the mouse pointer, it'll go down. And if we leave it, it'll go up. So you see, if one of them must be activated at a specific time, and that'll happen. And what this repeat block does is it will just make something happen until this amount of number is up. Like what this actually means is that it will just, instead of making this go forever, it will just repeat in a certain amount of times. Like let's say repeat 10 times. Let's say I don't want this to go forever, I just want it to repeat 10 times, then it'll stop. I don't want it to continue forever. Okay, there's a repeat block. Just put it in the repeat block, and when the green flag is clicked, repeat, and since the mouse pointer, it'll stop playing annoying sounds. If not, it'll change volume by -10. The volume's already let me set the volume to 100. Yep. You hear that? That is playing it 10 times. Now if I set it to play 100 times, it's already 0. But if I slow it down by -3, there you go. There you go. It'll start, if this one, since it's not playing the pop sound, it'll then just reduce until you can't hear it anymore. It's pitch 0. So that's what the volume, that's what this if and repeat block does. So you can see how important these script things are. Now you can always change the scripting right here. This is the costume and this is the scripting. And let's move on with the blocks. I'll get to all the other blocks like this loudest block. Like, what does this loudest block mean? Now it was only recently I actually noticed that these block is associated with this block. Yeah, timer, reset timer. When timer is greater than 10, reset timer. It's what these blocks are actually just associated. What this block actually means is that, like, when the green flag is clicked, set mode to draggable, wait 10 seconds, then set mode to not draggable, set mode to draggable. Now what this means is that you can now drag the sprite. Actually, you can actually drag the sprite, but after 10 seconds the sprite will not be able to be dragged. See, I can't drag it anymore. I'm trying my best to drag it. Let me make it louder. You can hear that. I can't drag this sprite and stuff. So let's move on, and we'll get rid of all these stuff. I already told you what this does and what these do and these do. Okay, now let's do clone. What does these 3 blocks clone? These may just be 3 blocks, but I swear to you, these 3 blocks are extremely impactful. So when the green flag is clicked, create a clone of myself. Now repeat this process. Like, I'll say repeat this 10 times. I'm nervous. Sorry. And it'll create a clone of myself. Now when I start a clone, go to a random position. So this means it'll create 10 clones of itself, and when the clone is created, it'll go to a random position. So like you can see this clone, it was created, it quickly went here. Then this clone, it created, and the real one's this one. So let me quickly change the clone. When I start a clone, let me make it visible to you which one is the actual one. So I'll do some set color effect to 25, look, and you can see now they're all green, but this one is the actual one. This is the real one, and all the other green ones are clones. So you can see when the green flag is clicked, they all go to just random. They can't even pile up in one area. Like, it's actually very lucky for all of them to just pile up in one area, but you can see they're going to different places at all time, because this script must be activated. Now if let's say we put this in a forever loop, like change color effect by 25 forever. So if we do this, it'll keep on moving about, it'll move about, and it'll also change the color. So this is what these, when I start a clone, and it'll only do this 10 times. So get rid of all of this. Okay, so this is what the clone blocks do. They're just for when you want to like duplicate something, like something that needs to be duplicated or so. Now what is this touching color block? This touching color block just means if a so-so color is touched, something will happen. For example, if this color is touched forever, and if I click forever, if touching color, then it'll create a clone of myself. And and it'll create a clone myself. And when it starts as a clone, it'll just go to random position, cause why not? And you can see that it will keep on repeating because the color is not still being touched, and it's still repeating, but you cannot see it in the screen. It is still repeating, but you cannot see it in the screen. See if I said it. It's still repeating. It's just that my mouse pointer still has to touch the little pink stuff. Like that. I'll still have to touch it. Now, this is what the clone block does, and this is what this touching color block is. Just like if mouse pointer, but instead of if, it'll just do colors. And when I start, the clone go to around the position, but forever if this clone, touching mouse pointer and mouse down, there you don't have to take notes of the scripting. I'm just scripting. Then we'll delete this clone. Now what this means is that oh wait, I forgot to do a create a clone of myself. Yeah, so it'll keep on creating clones of itself, and if I touch it, it'll delete this clone. But wait, I have to add this to the clone. Let me not put it in a forever loop so that it doesn't look like something dumb. Doesn't look like something dumb. And then I'll put this forever loop in there, so that when I click a clone, it gets deleted, but not the main, because it's not a clone. If I repeat this, all clones will be deleted under my clicking, and there you go. But this one cannot be deleted because, and you can see when the green flag is clicked, the actual sprite's position will always be at 0, 0, causing it to look like that. Now there's always going to be a part 3, and there's going to be a part 4. In the part 3, I'll teach you about variables, and I'll also teach you on coding games. So that's when we'll start coding the games. And the first 2 episodes will just be about me explaining some blocks, and the final 2 blocks I'll explain is mouse down, mouse X, and mouse Y. Now for that, I'm going to do some backdrop scripting, like when the green flag is clicked, forever, wait 1 second, switch next backdrop. So I'm just gonna equip different backdrops like blue sky, and then I'm gonna choose another like boardwalk, and I'm gonna choose another like cloth city, then I'm gonna choose another like chalkboard. So what this means is that every 1 second the backdrop will just be moving like that. It'll just move from this backdrop to this backdrop to this down, and then when it's the final one, it'll go back to the first, like a loop. Like that. And if when I said the green flag is clicked, and I can switch it to a specific backdrop when the green flag is clicked. So what do these 4 blocks do? Now mouse down is only for when something is clicked. Like let's say a mouse is down. So wait, like mouse down means like if my mouse is being clicked. As you can see now, it says false because I am not clicking the mouse on the backdrop. But if I do like forever, if mouse down, then stop all. So stop all just means close the game, stop everything. And if I click, if mouse down, then stop all. And if I do click, everything is stopped. Like that. Yeah, see, everything stopped. And mouse X just mean mouse X and Y just mean like up and down, left and right. Let me just quickly set the background to this, and for the backdrop scripting, I'm not gonna utilize switch backdrops. I'm just gonna X and Y grid. So what this means is that forever, like let's say set Y to mouse Y. That means like anytime, no matter how high or low my mouse is, it'll just follow my mouse and up and down. So like Like if I go up my mouse, it'll just scratch calculator because my mouse X, you can see that's why it's called mouse Y. So the Y position of my mouse will always be the same as the scratch card, because you can see when you're forever, so it will never end. Set Y, the Y position of the scratch card, to my mouse Y. That's why I call mouse Y. And if we do the same for mouse X, let's get rid of Y. Instead of following me up and down, it'll start going left and right. And if we put both of them, it'll look like it's following me, but it's not actually following me. My Y is just obeying the Y, and the X is just obeying the X. Like that. And it's actually like live counting. And that's what these blocks actually do. Mouse X and Y, they're actually very good to use for like dodging. And I'm gonna show you in the next episode, we're going to do a game scripting, and for the final episode I'll teach you about the two variables. I'll teach you about my block variables. I'll also tell you what this place means and stuff, how to, and much more on Scratch. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoy. I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Wasem Academy. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you haven't watched the part 1, link to the description down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for coming.